Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I wanted to play around with some of the stuff that I haven't really used in a while. And I wanted to do some things that I'm not really comfortable doing on a regular basis, like liquid eyeliner. So thank you for joining me as I play. This may go well or it may go terribly. I was actually playing with the liquid eyeliner doing like a wing before I got in the shower this morning, and the left eye turned out great. It was probably the best one I've ever done, but the right eye was a total disaster. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. And I also thought, since it looks like Pat McGrath is releasing Divine Rose, the Mothership palette again, possibly, I'm guessing it's going to come out on Valentine's Day, but she does have a link up for signing up for updates. So I think, since that's coming back, I thought I would use that for my eyes today as well. So the first thing I want to do, let me just tell you what I have on. I put on the Jane Iredale Beyond Matte Foundation. This is an M1. And I actually bought this last summer and it was a perfect color match. But right after this, I got the Guerlain L'Essentiel foundation, which is my favorite. So I've pretty much been using this. And then when I decided to start this channel, I film upstairs in my attic. And basically, I took up all the stuff that I was using, but this got left behind because I just wasn't really reaching for it then so much. And honestly, I wasn't sure. I had some breakouts around that time, so I wasn't sure if that was breaking me out or something else. So I figured I'd test this again and see how that's going, so I can kind of get a definitive answer on that. But this is the shade M1. I'm also trying out the new to me concealer. This is the Sisley Phytocerns Eclat in shade 1. And it's a little yellow. So it's a little dark, a little yellow for me. You can kind of see it under my eyes, but I'm hoping at the end it won't be too noticeable because I think the coverage on this is really nice. So we'll see how that goes. I ordered the new Sisley Tinted Moisturizer, but I'm actually a little afraid to open it. It's getting delivered today. So I'm just afraid that the color might be too dark. So I'm hoping it comes to my local store soon. They don't have it in my shade at my store right now. So we'll see. I'm a little nervous to try that. So I set my foundation with the Chantecaille. This is the Perfect Blur powder. And I thought the next thing I would do, because I am kind of also afraid of bronzer and contour with my cheeks. I've never really found a color that I really like so well with my fair skin. It kind of always looks like, fake tan powder. Even if you go really light, it just kind of looks like a little muddy. So I thought I would try it again and just kind of see how it's going. So I pulled out the Hourglass Unlocked palette, and I've got the Refer P22. This is the bronzer blush, and I'm actually going in with this shade, which is, what is it? I think it's not technically a bronzer. I want to say it's just the darker finishing powder, but I already know for a fact that this shade is way too dark for me. So I'm going to go in and just add a little bit to the hollows here and kind of around the perimeter of my face and see how that goes. I think, that's light enough that it's not really looking very muddy. I was playing with this before my shower as well, and I put on too much and it just didn't really look right. So I wanted to try it again. But I also think it's not really giving me too much of an effect. I think with my face structure, I don't know. I just don't get those glorious cheekbones that other people yet. I don't even really feel like I get the illusion. And now I feel like it's starting to look a little like muddy or dirty there. So I want to lay off on that now. For blush, since I've got this out, let's go ahead. I'm going to use this lighter shade. And let me go ahead and get, this is the Classic Cheek from Sonia G. And I'm going to go into this lighter shade and just a little dip into the darker shade. Whoops. Definitely the darker shade was a little bit more than I thought it would be. All right, I think this side's a little bit deeper. Let's see if I can buff it in a little better. Okay, so I think that's a little bit better. And then I think for finishing powder, I'm actually just going to go in with the same bronzer brush. I'm going to go into this, what is it, the strobe, metallic strobe light powder. And I'm going to get just a tiny bit on the brush and just do a light dusting all over. All right. Okay, so I think that's good for that. And then let's see, for our highlighter today, let's go ahead and add, let's go gold. I'm gonna take out the Eclat Brillant from the Chantecaille Holiday Collection. And I'm going to use, let's use this. This is the Sonia G Sculpt 3. It's a small fan brush, but not super wispy. It's still pretty dense. So I'm going to get just a little bit on the brush and brush that on. All right, so I think that's good. And let's go ahead and start playing with Divine Rose. All right, so I actually haven't used this palette in quite a while. There have been so many like releases of pink eyeshadows and everything that I just haven't really been reaching for this. So I think I'm going to start off by going in with Valoria, this shade up here, and I'm going to use that kind of as a base color. So I'm going to go in with the Sonia G Worker 1, and I'm going to apply that. Oh, it's darker than I remembered. I'm going to apply that here to my lid and kind of up a little in the crease. All right, I'm just wiping the excess off of this brush so I can go into this crease a little bit more. All right, so let's go ahead and I want to pack one of my favorite shades on. I'm going to take the Sonia G Builder 3 brush and I'm going into the shade below that, which is Lovelace. And this is my favorite shade in this palette. And I'm just going to kind of pack this with a patting motion over basically the inner 2/3 of my lid. Okay. So I'm wiping the excess off of that brush, and let's go ahead. I want to add a little bit of the gold. So this is the Crease Pro from Sonia G, and I'm going to go into Refined Gold 002, and I'm going to get some on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to pull this into the crease. And I'm going to get a little bit more on the tip, kind of go a little bit here, inner corner, and draw that up into the crease area. So let's pack a little bit more here. Here, I think there's a little bit more. All right, so I want to continue working in this crease a little bit. I'm going to go into the Skin Show Nude, and I'm using the Refer 16, which is just a big fluffy brush. I'm just getting a little bit on the side here, and I'm going to go into this crease and up on the brow bone, just kind of diffuse that all a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna make things a little bit deeper on the outer corner, and I'm gonna go in with Rose Dusk, which is in the middle here. And I'm using the Sonia G Builder 3 again. I'm just gonna kind of tap this on the outer corner. And hopefully this is close enough for you guys. I kind of forgot about moving the camera, so hopefully you can see okay. All right, so I think that's good for the deepness. I want to go ahead into the Astral Solstice, and I'm going to use my finger here and tap this on the center of my lid. I'm going to use a clean finger and just kind of draw the edges of that out a little bit. So I'm using a different finger for each eye, just to prevent any, that one, I think we need a little more sparkle there. Definitely a lot of fallout with that shade. Very, very sparkly though. So, all right. It's probably not my finest look with this, but I don't think I want to add any more shadow. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go back in with this crease brush, the Refer 16. I'm just wiping any excess off on my cloth. I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, clean this area up a little bit more. You know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit more actually I'm going to go in with the VR Rose Venus since it's Valentine's Day. So I'm going to use my finger for this one as well. And I'm going to add this just to the outer corner. So there's like a little something extra. Okay, I like that. All right, so let me go ahead and finish cleaning up. I feel like this right side looks, you know, better than this left side. All right, that's better. Okay, so I think now I want to go ahead and try to use a liquid liner and see how that goes. So this is called Beauty for Real, and it's Finish Line number 24. It says 24/7 liquid eyeliner. All right, so actually, I used to subscribe to BoxyCharm. I got this in the box, and I haven't used it. So I just tested it out this morning, and that was it. So we're going to start off. And again, I'm really, really bad at this. So I may end up having to cut the camera feed and work on this closer to my mirror. But let's see what I could do. Well, not great, but definitely not as bad as right I was this morning. So that's probably the best I'm gonna get done today. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna curl my lashes, add some mascara. So this is the Surratt Releve eyelash curler. And I always do like a double pump 3 times along the length of the lashes. And for me, that works well. And I think let's go for a little punch. So I'm going to add, this is the Chanel mascara base. So I'm going to add this before I add my mascara. And it's just a sample that I've gotten. I don't like to put the base on the bottom lashes, but I've been liking this on the top as long as I allow it to dry. So while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. And see, I just finally thought of a way to organize all my like lip pencils and eye pencils and stuff. So I use these containers for my brushes. So I have 2 of these for the brushes. And I decided I finally needed something to put my pencils and everything in. So I've got like eye pencils, mascara and brow stuff and concealers and lip pencils all in here now. And it's making things so much easier. So let's see here. Before I started this channel, I kept all my makeup in my bathroom, which had, I had like more drawers and everything. I had the little drawer organizers and everything. But then when I moved up here, I really have no storage and I don't like moving things back and forth. So I haven't really figured out what I'm doing yet. And I think for brows today, I'm going to use, this is the Surratt Expressioniste brow pencil. And this is actually the shade Blonde, but it's really like a taupe. So it's like a dirty blonde. And I think for brows, I'm going to keep them a little soft today. So I'm going to go with the Wander Beauty Brow Gel in Taupe. And this is really more like a mascara for your brows. Like it gives me a tint and it doesn't give me any of that like hardening texture. So it still feels really soft. And then just using the back of the Surratt pencil. But it does give a nice tint and, helps my brows look a little bit fuller. All right, so I think that's it for that. Let's go ahead and I'm using the Chanel Inimitable mascara. And again, this is a sample. I actually really like getting mascaras in sample sizes because, well, I like having the smaller brushes because it's easier, I think, with a smaller handle for me. But also, like, using up a mascara is hard. So I really like travel size. I wish more companies would actually sell the travel sizes. All right, I'm just wiping down the wand a little bit. Oh, I should have put some shadow underneath my eyes. I think I'm gonna let this dry and then go back and do that. But I do always like to comb through my lashes with the Tweezerman eyelash comb. So do that real quickly. Okay, so let me go ahead and go back into the Divine Rose. And let me grab a pencil. This is the pencil one from Sonia G. And I think I am going to go back into Lovelace. So that is this one here. And I'm just going to drag this under my eyes. All right, I'm going to wipe the excess off of that brush. I'm going into Skin Show Nude. Skin Show Nude, this one. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that here, closer to the inner corner. Drag that in. And I think I'm gonna go into, what was this, Rose Dusk, and just add a little bit to the outer portion here. All right, I think that actually helped to give a little dimension with the little winged attempt that I made. All right, so I think, let me see how well some of these sparkles brush off. Yeah, you know, they're not really going anywhere. That's okay though. Okay, so this is my attempt for the eyes, and I think let's make things a little different. I'm gonna use, this is actually a new lipstick, Le Rouge Night Noir. I have a couple of these, and I love, this is from Givenchy. I love the packaging on these. So you can see it's like black with red and black like glitter in there, sparkle, and it doesn't come off, I'm pretty sure. My other ones I don't come off on my hands, at least. I can't tell. They are so sparkly now from the Pat McGrath shadows. But this is called Night and Light. So it's number 01. And I have like Night and Gray and Night and Blue. And if you put these on in like a light layer, they actually have more of like a berry look. And, you know, layering these doesn't work too well because it ends up looking a little bit patchy if you layer it too much to get it really dark. But I think overall, they just have like a nice hue to them. So I like that like darkened look there. I think it, just kind of adds something. And these work well as a topper too. So sometimes if I put on a lipstick or something and it's just like a little bit too pink or too something, I'll add one of these and kind of, it just tones it down a bit. So let's see here. All right, I think that might be it for the lips. I was thinking about adding one of the Opulist glosses on top, but I don't know. That might be a little bit too much. No, let's go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to add the Lavendarian. And I'm just going to add a little bit. Let's just see how that goes with that. Let's add a little more. Okay, I like that. And this one, you can really see like the purple holographic look to it. And it pairs really nicely with the night and light because, it just makes it a little bit brighter, which, I think is a little interesting. So this is sort of like an ode to Valentine's Day for me. I'm not a huge Valentine's Day celebrator. We don't usually celebrate it too much, but now that I have little kids and they're like all excited about Valentine's Day, I try to get a little bit more into the spirit. So consider this my Valentine's Day look. And I don't know, I'll probably be playing with pinks for the rest of the week. But all right, let me see here. Yep, I guess that's it for today. And thank you so much for joining me. And I'm sorry that this ended up being so long, but I hope you had fun playing around with me. And I hope to see you in my next video. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much and have a great day.